All right. Welcome, everybody. Gary, Billy, welcome to Okcoin Live. You guys are the inaugural guests, and we're extremely happy to have you.
This is our first show. Thank you for being here.
Good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us.
Yeah. So, Gary, it looks like you're coming to us from outer space there. I know that it's actually it's got some real Blade Runner vibes, which is my kind of ultimate. If I have to go into a movie universe, it's where I want to go, and I think you're on your way there.
Yeah, tell us about yourself, Gary. Give us a little intro and a little bit about where you are joining us from.
So I'm joining you from the future, and everything is Doge, as you can see. Zero gravity, pretty much. And yeah, I was acquainted with the Doge back in 2013. Been a diehard devotee ever since, doing everything within my power to help Doge ascend to the moon and beyond. And yeah, part of the Dogecoin Foundation as well. It's great to be here.
Yeah, awesome. And we also have Billy here as well too. Billy Markus, the creator of Dogecoin. Billy, it's great to have you here. I mean, you're the creator of Dogecoin, but you're also our first guest as well too. And I think that means a lot to us at Okcoin.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I made this silly thing in 2013, and it has caught on in many different ways, and changed my life, changed a lot of people's lives. So interesting to be a part of this.
Yeah,
I'm glad to be your first guest.
So it's 2021, and we're getting closer to almost a decade since the launch of Dogecoin. Like, where are we right now with Doge, and kind of like, what does it mean and what does it represent to both of you?
Want to take it away, Billy?
Yeah, I guess to me, like, Dogecoin started as a parody, essentially, of cryptocurrency, and kind of like more like the altcoin boom and all the silliness that was around it. And then it kind of just developed a character of its own since then. In the beginning, it was a lot of like generosity and tipping and silliness, and kind of evolved to something that is worth a lot of money at this point, like billions of dollars, which was pretty wild. So now it's kind of moving toward like, oh, hey, it's been quite a while. Let's add a little more structure, and hopefully this can keep booming on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing to see its trajectory. I'm realizing we've got a lot of people joining right now. I just want to give a quick intro in case you missed it at the beginning. I'm Mandy Campbell. I'm the head of content for Okcoin, and Sam McCulloch is my co-host here, who is a lead marketing writer for Okcoin. And we are, of course, joined by Billy Markus and Gary Lachance from the Dogecoin Foundation, and Billy is the Doge founder. So we've started talking about kind of where Dogecoin is going, and we're super excited for this to be our first Okcoin Live. So Gary, I guess, when did you kind of first start being part of the community, and what are your predictions for kind of where it's going? You said to the moon, but tell us more.
Yeah, I guess it was right at the very beginning, December 2013. My friend introduced me, and pretty much as soon as I saw this face, I was just and yeah, just never ever got old. I do a thing called the decentralized dance party, so we stuck these Doge stickers on all the boom boxes, and they were surrounding me in my house, and every time we took them out to do parties, and all of us were just looking at this face, and we're just like, man, this just never gets old, never gets tired. And yeah, we've taken the Doge everywhere we possibly could. We did Camp Doge at Burning Man 2014 and many other misadventures. And yeah, it's great to see that it resonates with so many people around the world as much as us. And yeah, it's the number 2 most recognizable brand apparently behind Bitcoin. more people are aware of it than Ethereum, and I think it's just going to keep going upwards from here because it just represents so much that the world needs right now. Like in crazy divided times, it's just fun, silly, lighthearted, unifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vibes till the end. So future looks good.
Well, we think so too, and we just, as Okcoin, haven't seen a more passionate community behind any other coin. I think it's just amazing to see how much enthusiasm the community has for this, both for the coin itself and then some of the projects that are happening outside of the coin, which kind of leads me in. Can you talk a little bit about Dogecoin Foundation? I'm not sure everyone is familiar with Dogecoin Foundation, and would love to hear more about the work that you're doing there.
So it initially began in 2014 with Jens and some other folks who's still a member, and things were sort of paused for a while and became active again in 2021. So there's myself, Michi, Tim, Ross, and Jens are the main board members. And yeah, it was created to basically defend the Doge trademarks. There's been a bunch of people around the world trying to register them for their own personal gain. We're just a bunch of people who really strongly believe in Doge and want to see these defended and held for the community, because if someone doesn't defend them, anyone can take them and do whatever they want. And also just helping to fund the developers and doing everything possible that we can to rally the Doge army and keep the ecosystem strong. We've got some amazing advisors like Billy, Vitalik, Jared through Elon. And yeah, it's very, very exciting to see it organized and the community as strong as ever, and very honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, Gary just said it the best there. Yeah, I mean, I see it as like adding a little more structure and hopefully continuing work on the coin. One of the things that's most important for a decentralized cryptocurrency is for people to keep developing on it, and that's one of the many goals of the Dogecoin Foundation, is to make sure that that keeps going in a sustainable way.
Yeah, and just to get it in the hands of everybody, right? To make sure that people can use it for whatever kind of transaction they want to, right? To tip or to send people money, or I mean, now that it's billions of dollars, I mean, it could be a lot of money that they're sending. So I think it has a really special place. I mean, my first introduction to Doge was back in 2017 on Cryptopia, I think. So all the altcoin pairs, most of them were pretty small, and so instead of using BTC as like the pair, they would use like Doge as the pair. It was like the smaller pair, since the like the amount of coins was like much less than Bitcoin. You could have these like smaller pairs that you could trade with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, please.
Oh, I was just going to ask. I think everyone would love to hear more about the story of how you founded Dogecoin. I think I heard you talking a little bit about how you started with Bitcoin mining and then kind of led into Doge. But for anyone who hasn't heard it before, do you want to talk a little bit about how you ended up founding this amazing project?
Yeah, I'll try to tell the most abridged version. But yeah, basically, I started Bitcoin mining, and that was very difficult. Even back in 2013, it was very hard to get much, even with a couple fancy graphics cards. So I switched to script coin mining, which was like Litecoin. And then I found that there was a whole bunch of script coin derivatives, like WorldCoin, and like just hundreds of them, and new ones were coming out every day, and it was really silly. And I was like, what is going on here? Considering so many are being made, I bet these are pretty easy to make. So I made a coin called Bells and released it at some point after I figured out how to make them, and that did very, very poorly. And then later, in the other side of the world, this guy Jackson Palmer, I guess, had a beer and thought it was a good idea to buy the domain Dogecoin.com and stick a dog face on it and say like, if anyone wants to make this a reality, hit me up. So I found that site randomly through an IRC channel. I was like, oh, I know how to make crypto, and this is hilarious. I'll just make it, and we basically just threw it together and released it in the next couple of days, and then it kind of took off, and everything crazy happened after that.
Could you have imagined at that time it becoming what it's become now?
Oh, absolutely not. Like basically nothing that's happened was part of any plan, any thought, or any imagination. It was just kind of a accidental thing that hit the zeitgeist in just the right way and somehow took off. So it was lightning in a bottle, I feel like.
Absolutely.
I think it was always attractive though. Like if you look at the, what was then like trading back then, right? Everybody was, talking about world domination, right? They're trying to copy exactly what Bitcoin was doing. And all of a sudden here comes Doge with something just out of left field, not trying to be what Bitcoin was. And I think that kind of is what resonated. And that's what allowed it to kind of grow and develop the community that it has.
Yeah, like Gary was saying, the dog face itself, like a funny yellow dog that can help represent unity or just silliness is like you can't be mad when looking at that guy.
Exactly.
Or, sorry, it's actually a girl. That's Kaposu. And yeah, someone like Gary, just in the beginning when I was kind of watching this like crazy thing unfurl and seeing all the things the community was doing, and I saw the decentralized dance party YouTube videos and Gary in that, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what is going on here? This is crazy and awesome. So yeah, I really feel and still feel, and even continue to feel in the future that the community is what makes this coin special, and trying to keep that community in good spirits and not just like sitting there staring at the price and trying to get other people to buy it for more, but like doing things that make the cryptocurrency fun still and absurd and silly, I think is the most important thing to me.
Absolutely. And for anyone who is joining us right now, we are live with Gary Lachance and Billy Markus from the Dogecoin Foundation. Of course, Billy Markus is the founder of Dogecoin. We are in our first live show for Okcoin. We have 3 winners that will be announced very shortly who will get $100 in Dogecoin for those that retweeted our announcement for the show and are tuning in now. So stay tuned because we'll announce those soon and DM you on Twitter. So obviously memes have played kind of an important role in the whole Dogecoin story. Do you have a particular Doge meme that is your favorite, and how did that kind of come to be?
Let's let Gary take this one first.
I guess there's always the quintessential original. I really like there's one that Elon posted a while ago. It's like the dust storm overtaking the town.
I like that one too.
Dogecoin
Yeah.
standard and like traditional financial system or whatever. It's just overtaking everything. Definitely top one for me.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think the first one that the first one that I saw that really made me bust up. So back in like 2013, 2014 time period, there was like people constantly posted this like generic shape of a bubble picture, which is just like, like people constantly say cryptocurrency is in the bubble and have since, the beginning of cryptocurrency essentially. And someone took that like kind of graph and like parodied it with the dog face, and like put the lines over the dog and had like little like such oh no and like all these silly dog memes associated with it. I thought that was really, really clever and silly, and kind of just like took the whole like seriousness of like, oh gosh, it's a bubble, the price might collapse, and just be like, this is whatever. Like this is on a dog is now silly.
Yeah. Well, we always love the Doge memes. We actually did a meme contest a few weeks ago. We had 150 different Doge memes submitted for that, and we had a couple people that won Doge through that too. So we're big fans of the Doge meme, even though obviously the community is a lot more than memes, but always kind of a fun part of it too.
Yeah, Bill, I was listening to some interviews that you've done a while back, and I remember you talking about how, I mean, this is the same for me as well too. When I was growing up, is that you ran SETI at home on your computer, and I ran that.
Yeah.
I ran that for years as well too, and it felt good to be in support of something that it was happening digitally, and all the work was happening behind the scenes, and then a few years later, they Bitcoin comes out, and obviously Dogecoin comes out, and here's a way to kind of similarly use your computing power. Well, I guess in the sense for Dogecoin to do something good, right? And same for Bitcoin as well too. I mean, it is achieving kind of this like basis for like decentralized speech and decentralized value transmission. So I think that's a really cool aspect that you've been able to carry on with the creation of Dogecoin.
Yeah, I miss mining as like a thing that everyone could do, because now mining, you need to buy such specialized hardware. It's like really difficult to get much from it. But back in the day, I felt like just a whole bunch of people learned about how to use Dogecoin by mining it, and so a lot of people essentially created Dogecoin while they were mining it from their computer. And because it was so easy to get, they would start sending it around to people and just like making like its own economy and stuff. And I thought that was really, really great. It also, made a decentralized network. It was supporting the network, so it was helpful for that. So I hope that we can brainstorm or think of more things that allow people to feel attached and involved in the Dogecoin ecosystem. Although making memes is one of those ways, and it's a funny way, and it spreads the word of Dogecoin around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually unfortunate because like SETI at home had to shut down because of all the computing power shifted to like crypto mining.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just shifted to something else. Like we'll find aliens one day, and then we can share Dogecoin with them.
Well, it's going to the moon, so
Yeah.
makes sense. Just a reminder for everyone watching right now, we are looking at the chat. So if you have any questions for Gary or Billy, please share them in the chat and we would love to ask them. We did have a few come in before the show. One of our followers on Twitter asked, about Billy's NFT collection. They asked, I saw you created a set of NFTs on OpenSea. Would love to hear more about that.
Yeah, I'll just talk about it briefly. The NFTs are just something I was experimenting with, and then there was demand for it, so I was like, okay, I'll just keep making them as long as there's demand. So that's basically it for the NFT collection.
Just like a fun side project then.
Yeah, it's like a side project for. I find NFTs are, I think, interesting in general. There's a lot of potential for what can be done eventually with them. But yeah, like it's really just a fun side project for me.
Gary and Billy, I'm curious, like, what do you think about all of the activity happening in the NFT space right now? Obviously, a little bit separate probably from some of the work at the Dogecoin Foundation, but hot topic. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Gary's doing something interesting with the Dogecoin Foundation, with the app. I guess he can talk about it. Or sorry, with NFTs in his app.
Yeah, I think it's super cool. It's kind of like the first real killer app of crypto, I would say. And yeah, it's amazing all the creativity it's unlocked and all. It's not just like looking at coin prices go up and down or things like that. Everyone's creating and developing all kinds of amazing new ways to fractionalize art and share it and display it. And yeah, a project that we were working on earlier this year, friends and I, and still are, is called the Million Doge Disco. And basically we're working with a company called Block V. And they've created the tech, like a Ethereum layer 2, where you can drop NFTs in augmented reality all over the world. So it's kind of like Pokemon Go. And we came up with this Pokemon Doge scheme to drop Doge NFTs and Doge coins all over the world that people can pick up. And in order to get into the game, you have to submit the proof of partying. So you have to dance to get in, which is lots of fun. And it's a way to not have tons of scammers coming in. Do I really have to dance? We're like, yeah. Yeah, the sky's the limit. And like, my dream is to help create a Doge metaverse where like it's just like a new layer on top of reality that's everything Doge and fun, and turn the whole world into a party. And I think the Doge is the perfect figurehead, divine avatar to guide us there. No jokes.
Totally agree. I'm ready to go party with the Doge. Awesome. I'm seeing some questions come in. I saw, make sure I get the name. Grace Lilly asked, why do you think Elon Musk is so interested in Doge? Obviously, you know, we've seen Elon chime in time and time again on Doge. He said he's holding some. What do you think brought him to it, and why is he joining the community along with so many other people?
I think Elon likes the story in general of that Doge started as a joke and became something else. You know, he would say like, you know, fate loves irony. So it's like the most ironic outcome to have Dogecoin actually be the thing that people use eventually with his humble beginnings. And I think he just likes kind of like the silliness of the community, and you know, he's always making memes and posting funny things on his own Twitter feed. So I think it just kind of like I think back in, was it 2019, the Dogecoin community nominated him in this like kind of joke of like who should be the next Dogecoin CEO, and Elon Musk was voted. Instead of just like ignoring it, he was like, "Oh, that's funny," and he like actually put it on his profile. So I think that was one of his introductions to Dogecoin. Was just like, "Oh, this is a funny, fun thing, and I can support it." So that's kind of what I see. Like, if it was a super serious like cryptocurrency, I don't think he would be as excited about it as it being from its humble beginnings and the silliness and joy that comes from it.
Yeah, I think this has a really great sense of humor, and if you really get down to it, the universe is potentially just a giant sense of humor, and totally makes sense that he would be aligned with that, I believe. And yeah, I think that the Doge just perfectly represents the death of the ego. And I don't know what happened to my brain on this answer, but
Like, you're too entranced by the Doge.
I love it a lot, but yeah.
No, absolutely. I think we all appreciate that sense of fun and almost like childhood spirit that comes along with the Doge community. So I'm here for it for sure.
I think Elon's probably onto something, right? Because I mean, Billy, you've talked in the past about how Doge doesn't have a hard cap on the how many coins will actually come into circulation, right? It's just going to run forever and provide some sort of everlasting inflation. Well, something like Bitcoin, right? There's going to be a hard cap at some point, so you don't know if the transaction fees will ever cover the its ability to maintain its security protocol. So maybe in some ironic twist of fate, Dogecoin flips Bitcoin at some point. The real flipping, not ETH flipping Bitcoin, but Doge flipping Bitcoin, and it becomes the one true proof of work currency.
Yeah, who knows? It would be great if it goes on long after I am not part of this world anymore. That the silly thing that I made is a legacy, I guess. And from the random parameters, like none of the parameters were very well thought out when they were created in the first place. So if that inflation rate, that fixed inflation rate, that's I guess fixed issuance, so the inflation rate keeps going down, if that ends up being like the correct one, then that happened also by accident. That'd be pretty amusing.
I think one of the best quotes to summarize what's going on is, if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. And this is, I can't imagine any crypto ever being more fun than Doge. So
I definitely get the sense that the Doge army has the most fun. I have a question from Joey Coco, who's tuning in, and Joey is asking, will you ever get a Doge? So I think the question is, do you have a Doge currently? If not, are you getting one? Do you have a Shiba? That would be pretty perfect if you do.
No, I don't. I like was thinking about getting a Shiba at some point, and then I looked up that they're pretty hard mode dogs. It's generally not recommended that people get them as their first dog. But yeah, I used to have a cat, and I would love to get a cat again, even though it's not a Doge. But in my neighborhood, there's actually a lot of Shibas, and every time I get excited when I see them, I'm like, oh, Shiba.
Do your neighbors all know that you're the founder of Dogecoin while they're walking their Shibas? Because they probably
No. No, I definitely preferred people not knowing. So.
Fair enough. What about you, Gary?
I don't personally own a Doge, but I also see a lot of them in my neighborhood, and every time I offer them Doge stickers, and they're usually pretty hyped to receive those. But yeah, I'm not really very busy, so don't really have time to take care of a Doge at this point, and it's tricky when you're on the road. So hopefully in the future.
Absolutely.
Big fan of Doges.
Yeah, but there's like the Tama Doges or the virtual Doges to take care of.
Yeah, like
so like a Tamagotchi or something.
Yeah, Tamagotchi.
Yeah, that's the other part of the Doge disco, is it's also a Dojagachi pet, and you have to dance with it to keep it loyal.
It sounds like a future project for the Dogecoin Foundation.
Hey Billy, have you been to one of these decentralized dance parties?
Oh, I haven't. I was invited to the was it the Dogecoin? But I couldn't make it. But I saw videos of that one, and that wasn't quite a dance party. But although I do believe it had some elements of dance in it, but there's a lot of pictures from it. It looked like a really amusing time.
It was pretty wild. Yeah, Jackson came up, and we had hundreds of people from around the world, and we were running around the city. We had a giant, we had a moon on wheels, and we had this giant rocket.
That's amazing.
And like hundreds of boom boxes and giving out Doge stickers. And great vibes. It was like a full 4-day festival.
It's amazing.
Showed up to Chelsea and Alex, who helped create that. It was just amazing time.
Yeah, there's this super massive paper mache moon that just cracked me up when I saw it. Oh my goodness.
So how did the dance party start in the first place?
So way back in the day, I got my first iPod with like the lanyard and plugged it into an old boombox, and we just started running around our city. It was pretty revolutionary. That's like way before Bluetooth speakers. So we had our music on the go. And then one night we had 2 boomboxes tuned into the same radio station. And that was kind of the eureka moment where I was like, wow, like if we got our own FM transmitter and hundreds of boomboxes, we could make the coolest party the world's ever seen. So that's what I've dedicated the last 12 years of my life to. And it's really cool. Like right from the start, 2009, we called it the decentralized dance party. And it's a great metaphor for a decentralized system. Like there's no central stage. Everyone carrying a boombox is a node in the network. Everyone's on the same level. And it's completely just about unifying people, which I believe is the subtext of decentralized systems. So it's been a great journey, and we've woven in with the crypto community and everything decentralized as much as we can, trying to boost the vibe. And yeah, the Doge is perfectly aligned because I don't know if everyone realizes yet, but Doge spelled backwards is either e-god or ego-d, ego death. And partying and I believe life itself is all about the death of the ego, getting beyond our conditioning that divides society. So all these things are perfectly encapsulated.
Yeah.
Right, at least in my interpretation of the universe.
I think that's a great interpretation. And the other kind of play on the Doge name that we've heard is that it stands for do only good every day. Is that something that you endorse as part of Dogecoin? Is that something that more happened accidentally? Would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that is the first time I saw that, I was just like, oh yeah, this is good and powerful. And yeah, it's really, really resonating with people. You see it in so many hashtags. We actually did an activation on World Peace Day, September 21st. And we had nodes all over the world doing DOGE actions like park cleanups and dance parties and just everything in their community. And it's really cool because it's kind of made doing good like not like a nerdy thing, but like a cool thing. And I think it's things like that are just so powerful. Like when that has become a meme, doing good, and combined with a currency and this super powerful meme, like I think this has more power to change the world than almost anything. So it's not just jokes.
Yeah, actually, I really love the way Gary just put that making doing good a meme. I think is an awesome thing. Like obviously, do only good every day. Like obviously, when we made Dogecoin or just the word Doge, like it wasn't meant to be that. But because someone saw that backronym and put it there, I was like, just like Gary said, you see it and you're like, oh, that's perfect. Like that's a great message. And also, like it's free to do good. You don't have to like raise a ton of money and try to do all these crazy things. You can make someone's day just by being nice on Twitter. And saying positive things to people. So I just kind of think it's something that people can say, oh, we need more of this in the world, and less division, less craziness, and more the good kind of craziness, and more just making doing good a meme. I really like that.
Well, we like that too. I will say we are going to announce our 3 winners, the people who retweeted the announcement and are currently listening in, who are going to win $100 in Doge. So if you hear your Twitter handle, we are going to DM you to get you that $100 in Doge. The winners are Emily Soy. Second winner is Sadie Superfly, and third winner is Mason McNee. So congrats to those 3 people. Check your DMs. We're glad you could tune in. I'm seeing tons of comments from the Doge Army here in the chat. So thank you so much for everyone for joining our first Okcoin Live.
Congrats to Sadie, a friend of mine.
Yeah, good. Congrats, guys.
Go to Tim.
Yeah, congrats everybody. Billy, how's it been to stay like relatively anonymous through all of this?
Appreciated. I mean, like I don't know. It's again like I personally don't think my part in everything has been huge, other than like in the first 6 months ish. I like put the thing together and kept it going as the lead dev. But in general, like the power of Doge comes from the community itself, and like Bitcoin has Satoshi, this kind of like mythical figure who has always been anonymous, and I feel like that actually helps to not have like a primary leader that like basically takes over this thing, but someone who's more like willing to take a step back and have the community really take their initial vision and make it kind of whatever they want to make it, is the power of decentralization. So I think it's important for me, just for my own sanity, but also for the cryptocurrency, that I'm more of an anonymous figure that just kind of says, be nice to people, guys, in the background.
Yeah, I mean, do you think you'll ever go more public at some point, or is this just you're happy with this where you are? And
No, I'm pretty happy with this.
yeah, no, I can understand. I mean, if you're so recognized, I mean, there's something about celebrity where if you become so recognizable within a community, it's almost detrimental to your own like health and lifestyle. Like if you can't go outside of your house, or if you go to like any sort of conference, you're going to be mobbed or something. It seems a little strange.
Yeah, I don't really want to be a public figure. That's not fun. I'd rather just do interviews every once in a while as a dog face.
Yeah.
Well, the best dog face there is the Doge. I'm seeing a couple of questions. I think it was from Outlaw and from Nathan. They were asking about running a Doge node. Can you talk a little bit about kind of how someone might get started with running a Doge node and the role that it plays in kind of the ecosystem?
Yeah, having basically you just download the Dogecoin core client and run it, and then you're running a Doge node. And if you want to get extra fancy, you can have some ports forwarded so that you can have more than 8 connections at a time. A Doge node basically just it has the protocol on it, and it helps connect to other peers and helps them download the blockchain and helps validate transactions. So it just basically adds to the network. And yeah, it's something that's easy. It takes a certain amount of bandwidth to do. So, you know, if you have limited bandwidth, maybe don't do that. But if you want to help the Doge ecosystem out in a pretty simple way, you can just basically download the Dogecoin core client on dogecoin.com and start running it. And after you download the blockchain, you are a full node that is going to help other people also download the blockchain and do transactions.
Also, if you embrace the Doge philosophy you only get every day, you can become a Doge node yourself.
True. Yeah. Nothing like the power of just spreading the word yourself too. I'm sorry, Outlaw wanted me to clarify. He was asking if there are any plans for incentivizing running a Doge node. Any thoughts there?
Like I'm not aware of any like specific plans, but in terms of if you want to be incentivized for helping the Dogecoin network, you'll do that by mining in a proof of work cryptocurrency. Mining is what moves along the blockchain. So
Yep.
that is what gets incentivized by solving blocks and getting the block reward that's baked into the protocol.
Very cool. Well, hopefully that answers some questions about running nodes out there. I'm seeing lots of people tuning in asking about nodes. I'm also seeing a couple of people ask about businesses accepting Doge as payment. So AMC announced they're going to. Do you guys have any thoughts on, you know, who might be next for accepting Doge as payment? Is that a focus at all for you, or are you more just thinking about kind of maintaining the ecosystem and getting people started with Doge and running nodes?
Yeah, I think we're just kind of letting everything happen organically, making sure protocol and community and trademarks and everything are safe and sound. And then, I mean, I don't know why a business wouldn't accept Doge. It's like tons of free PR and a bunch of new customers, and they're going to have a ton of fun doing it. So it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think it's like success stories. As recently you saw AMC, and initially they announced that they would accept certain cryptocurrencies, and Dogecoin was missing. And the Dogecoin community was like, "What the heck? What about Dogecoin?" And then when the CEO said, "Okay, what about Dogecoin?" and put a poll up, he could see that there was like tons of demand, and basically got tons of demand and tons of free press for doing that. And I think people will just see that and see the power of the brand. People like Mark Cuban are also saying like people are using Dogecoin to buy his merchandise way more than any other cryptocurrency. So this is one of the things where if you can build up an ecosystem, if you can show these businesses that there is demand, it will happen organically because it's good for the bottom line, and it's good for fun and getting the community spirit up.
Absolutely. Well, we are getting toward the end of our time with you. Any last questions that you have, Sam, before we kind of wrap up? I know we announced our winners, so definitely check your DMs after the show to get that $100 in Doge. And again, just thank you so much to everyone who is joining us in the chat. We're seeing lots of great conversation from the Doge Army. Love to see that. And Sam, any last questions from you?
Yeah, I mean, I was just wondering if you guys could run through what you guys were feeling back in the summer when the big run up happened. I mean, obviously, a lot of it was driven on like everybody was hanging on Elon's tweets like from day to day. But I think it was something special that happened then, and I think it's going to be. Well, I mean, when Dogecoin breaks a dollar, I mean that'll be special as well too. But I think this past summer, like with all the events that align, kind of with everybody being locked down with pandemic and just getting into trading more and just having this huge run up, I think there's really something special about it.
Yeah, that was really wild. I heard about it in different ways because I was just working and staying out of the limelight, and basically my emails and Twitter got just spammed to death, being like, "Hey, cap Dogecoin." I'm like, "What the? Who are these people? Why are they yelling at me?" And then my friends who knew about it would message me like, "Have you seen what's going on? Did you see Elon Musk's Twitter feed?" I'm like, "What is going on?" So initially it was like kind of actually annoying because I didn't have any Dogecoin. I wasn't really a part of it. So I was just like, oh, I'll at least like tell my story and see if it resonates with anybody. If not, it doesn't really matter. I can just go disappear again. If it does, maybe that will be helpful. And so I basically just told the story of I don't have any, but like I don't really view the price or whatever as the exciting part of Dogecoin. I view like here are the things that I remember from Dogecoin that were really exciting back in the day when people were being nice to each other and raising money for all these cool events and Jamaican bobsled teams and NASCARs. And here's kind of the things I think are important, and here's the kind of things I don't think are important. So I hope we can embody the good things. And I just kind of noticed that people both resonated with that message and were cool. Like a lot of the people on Twitter were nice, and I talked to a lot of different people, and I was like, okay, I can see if people still listen to me. So that was really my experience, was just kind of like going from like very anonymous, and I think I had like 7,000 Twitter followers at the time, to like whatever 500,000 now, and posting memes a bunch of times. So it's been strange, but pretty fun.
So you're like Twitter famous now.
Something like that, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I know everyone in the community really appreciates kind of your humility. I'm seeing a lot of people comment about that right now, Billy. So well done. And obviously Dogecoin is an incredible project, so you should be very proud too. And Gary, would love to hear from you too.
Yeah, it was really fun and exciting to watch. As far as I'm aware, it's probably the craziest pump that's happened so far in crypto in terms of unexpectedness and volume. And it was funny to watch. You had a lot of old school crypto guys saying this is going to destroy crypto, like the price is going to crash, and then the SEC is going to come in. It's just a bubble. And it's like, no, we're standing strong, top 10 still, like 6 months later. So it's been a great run. And I should also say too, Tim Stebbing is here in the chat. It's important to point out that the foundation is also focused on building ecosystem enabling services to help more companies accept and integrate Doge into their platforms. So definitely making this the people's currency is top priority. And right below his post in the chat, someone says dog on money is better than old guy on money, which great insight.
I love it. Well, we are going to wrap up. Any last comments for the Doge Army from you, Billy, and you, Gary? We've got a lot of people in the chat that are excited to hear from you. What would you like to say to them?
Yeah, I mean, personally, as I've said before, Dogecoin is owned by nobody, which means it's owned by everybody. and it will keep going if the community stays strong. Cryptocurrencies don't die if their price goes down. They die when people stop talking about them. So if people keep using it, keep talking about it, and keep caring about it, it will live on forever. So keep fighting the fight, Dogecoin Army or Doge Fam or whatever you guys want to call yourselves.
I don't see anyone stopping talking about Dogecoin anytime soon. I see so many people that are talking about it. So I think that is a safe bet. What about you, Gary?
Yeah, I love it. It's been amazing this year doing the Doge Disco, seeing we put up a volunteer form at one point, and we had over 2,000 people, I think, in like a week just wanted to get
Wow.
involved, like all over the world, almost every single country represented. So Doge Army is a force to be reckoned with, and just great vibes. And I don't think there's anything the world needs more at this time. And big shout out to Billy for being our kind of godfather, guiding light on Twitter. Great, great insights, embodying the DOGE philosophy. It's like we're in good hands and should all work out. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, it was great to have you on. I know that there's a lot more difference that Doge is going to make in the world over these next few years, and it's really amazing to see what's happened just in its short lifespan, and I'm sure it's going to be even bigger for the next 10 years. So it's cool. Gary, Billy, thanks so much for coming on. Mandy, also, you're an incredible host, and you guys are great guests. So thank you, and also thank you the audience for tuning in to this inaugural Okcoin Live. We have some pretty amazing episodes coming up and great guests. And
Forgot something important, actually.
What was that?
Are you aware of the Doge Disco salute?
No.
No, tell us.
You take left hand up, down to heart center. Hopefully I'm not doing this backwards. Right hand hugging the earth. Create a D. And then you have a thumb in the back, and that is your tail. Or you can simply cross your paws.
How's our form? Are we doing it right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, thank you. We will take that. Yeah, just to build on what Sam said, we really appreciated having you guys. This is our first Okcoin Live. We're going to be doing these every Friday, talking about interesting topics in crypto, different coins. So thank you again. And thanks to everyone who was able to tune in. Excited to keep the conversation going.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And I assure you, I am doing the Dogecoin salute without my camera on.
We can feel it. All right. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, Billy. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.